out, drops it going for the switch. I just wanna bounce for a miss. Keep your eyes stayed on me for the blessing. Treasure up in the heavens, we snatch it. Look at the change upon my nation. Yeah, look at the change upon my nation. Look at the change upon my nation. Yeah, look at the change upon my nation. All that power in the keys, yeah, I really wanna use that.
What's up, you guys? We are those indie geeks. My name is Q.
I'm just raised.
It's your boy Prodigal.
And we talk about everything geeky, everything comic booky, everything fantastical, you know, within reason. You feel me? Fantastical within reason. I have to say that, within reason.
Yeah, because not everything is fantastical.
Not everything. Not everything. Speaking of
speaking
of not fantastical, the ending of Peacemaker was not fantastical. We're getting right into it. I don't even have a question. My question is, how did you not throw your remote at the TV at the end of Peacemaker?
Was I the only one that was satisfied with it?
You thought that
Probably.
was complete?
I watched it. And initially I was just like, what? Because with what was said by James Gunn and like all the things that were coming out, like, oh, like expect big surprises and all this stuff, and then that's what we got. I was initially disappointed, but I watched it again, and I usually don't do that, mainly because I was like, okay, I want to give him a chance, you know.
Oh, I'm still giving him a chance.
But for the show, for the season itself, I wanted to give him a chance, so I watched it again. And I was like, you know what? This is fine. This is okay. This works for the show. This works for the season that we had. And I think I was satisfied with it. Now, should he have said those things and should he have made those promises? And
Yo, sorry to interrupt this video, but I wanted to let you guys know, for those of you who don't realize it, some of you may not be subscribed. So if you're enjoying the content on this channel, if you're enjoying this video that you're currently watching, definitely hit that subscribe button and like and share it if you got time. It's all free. But definitely subscribe to the channel. It'll help everybody involved, because the way YouTube's algorithm works, you may not be subscribed even though they're suggesting my content to you. So definitely tap in, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content here. We're trying to build community, people. So tap in with your boy. And now back to the video.
And obviously comic book Twitter and social media was gonna take that and run with it. I don't think so. I never think it's smart to do stuff like that, because we've had, you know, previous experience where with Marvel and with other things where it's like you hype yourself up so much. I mean, I feel like we still do that, right? I mean, I'm doing that for Vision Quest, you know, whenever that comes out, and Wonder Man. Like, I hope that there are big things happening, but I know, you know, those are shows that at least Wonder Man's been filmed for a while, and so I think for me, like,
I got less mad and less like perturbed as the days went on. That's about it.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of like, unless like, because weren't we talking about it in chat or something? Just Razor Prodigal. We were saying something in the chat about this being interwoven into lanterns and just like all this stuff. Like, okay. But I'm still kind of like, I didn't expect like Superman to show up. Unless it was like an evil Superman in the
Overman. Overman, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, in the, you know, the right dimension. We won't say the other word because YouTube. But yeah, man. I'm still kind of like, okay, that. And the other guys aren't even with him. Like,
yeah.
They could have trapped the whole team. He wasn't the only one.
I think it's definitely like something that, again, expectations were high. People felt like, okay, like it didn't meet expectations. But I think season 2 overall, because like let's kind of backtrack and let's kind of talk about like how the second half, because I think we left off at maybe the twist last time we talked about Peacemaker.
Yeah, we left off in episode 4.
Yeah, and so kind of like let's talk about like post. First of all, well, actually, even then that twist, because I think it picks up with episode 5, them kind of talking about
the
like
twist doesn't hit till episode 5 or 6.
Yeah, because that's when, like, you know, the whole whatchamacallit, him completely missing the mural of Hitler, which killed
That's
me.
crazy.
I was just like, hey, you wait,
He
because they're
turned
like,
around,
you
he
didn't
said-
notice. He was just like, I didn't notice Mein Kampf on the table. I'm like, all right, fine, all right. Then the flag is like a bit more like
on the table.
I mean, he doesn't know. He doesn't read. I get it, right? But then he sees the flag, and I'm like, well, I don't know how you missed that. Then there's like a giant mural of Hitler, and I'm like, oh, so this guy's stupid.
Nah, he really was. No, the way I took that, I was like, you really, really wanted this to be the place where you belong so bad. This is why I'm kind of giving Peacemaker probably a little bit too much credit as a character, but like, I was just like, you want this to be your perfect place so bad that you didn't notice the like wall-sized mural of Hitler in the back. Like, what are we doing? What are we really doing? I didn't.
Yeah. Y'all, I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe it's I don't know. For me, the storyline up until the final episode.
I've never seen Just Ray so flabbergasted for a second.
Seriously,
it's like for me, this is kind of like where I had to be real with myself after watching the finale. Because the first episode I was kind of honestly the first episode, and then the episode where he just went to live on the other world by himself, I was kind of like, But once we got the rest of the team over there and the whole twist happened, I was like, okay, it's a little more interesting.
Was it really?
Now.
I don't even know if I would call it a twist. If it was a twist, everybody saw it coming. Like everybody saw it coming. You didn't see it coming that this was that type of universe.
No.
Bro,
I think we talked about this too.
Because if you think about it, it's not like he went across the world. He just went into that one town. There's plenty of towns with no minorities.
I didn't think about it initially. I didn't think about it initially, but like genuinely, I started to kind of like wonder. I was like, usually James Gunn has like a bunch of us folks.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You did say that. Yep.
And then when Harcourt said what she said, I was just all like, oh snap! And they always had the flags rolled up.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until
like,
she. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't notice it until that happened because it was like he did a good job. That's one thing I will say. James Gunn did a good job in season 2 with playing, flipping between universes. Like when Peacemaker was in the new universe, and then flipping between the team that was still stuck in a regular universe. So I never really paid attention to the fact that it wasn't no minorities like that because we were seeing minorities on screen.
It was moving,
but it was in our universe, not in theirs. So I wasn't even making that connection.
Say,
but that
I
the way
will
he
say
did it was funny,
about it though. When Addie like when she finally like realized what was happening. That was probably the funniest and scariest scene I've ever seen in my entire life in one of these. Because I was just thinking, I was just like, holy crap, you're the only person outside right now of your stature.
Facts.
And you got to run for your life. When she started running, I was like, girl, you ain't running fast enough for me. You're not running I was like, fast enough.
I'm going to need you to pick up the steps. I'm going to need you to pick up
She was trying. She was trying, but.
Yeah. I think Judo Master stepping in and electrocuting all those people in the pool.
That was funny, but mad unbelievable though. Like, cause you run to a backyard.
She didn't need to dive in the pool.
You jump in the pool. You didn't have to dive into the pool. You dive into the pool as if they couldn't run around to the other side. They follow you in the pool just to get electrocuted. It was just like, all right.
Them following her into the pool was a little over. Like, I get it was for like comedic purposes. It was for comedic purposes, but I was just like, why'd they have to jump in the pool too? Like, I would not have jumped in the pool at all.
First of all, I'm like, you black. Why did you jump in the pool? Not no stereotypes on the swimming thing, but it's just like that don't make sense.
Dog paddle across. She said,
right. You was just running for your life, and you decided to take a swim instead of run around the pool and jump out the other side.
Hey, look,
Like,
people do crazy things. People do crazy things in the moment of adrenaline. They're not really thinking clearly. So they're seeing, okay, like, I might
You're
swim
giving her the
and,
benefit
like,
of the doubt,
I don't know.
for sure.
I'm giving her the
You're
benefit of the
giving a
doubt.
lot of benefit of the doubt. As
But,
a black
I mean-
person, we not jumping in no pool running from our lives.
I'm not
That's
Michael
how you
Phelps.
know it's written by a white
I'm
guy.
not Michael Phelps. I'm not getting nowhere. I'm not getting away that way.
But it was still a
Even
cool
if he
thing
was
of, like,
Michael Phelps, that is a backyard pool. This is not an Olympic-sized pool.
Let's be
where
realistic.
If I swam to the other side,
well, I mean,
Michael Phelps
he'll
would've
just, like,
cleared
get
that
out in,
pool,
like,
though.
a second. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
For
he would have
sure.
just
Michael
left
Phelps
them.
would've-
Yeah.
he would have dove in and hopped out.
Yeah.
Like, fam, what?
Barely even a
What was
stroke.
that?
Whip.
He would
But
have came
Judo
out the pool
Master,
dry. That's how fast he would have got up out the pool. He would have came out the pool dry. Like, he was like, yo, did you touch the water? Like, what happened?
Oh, that's
man.
funny.
But I think that whole scene of him, like, electrocuting those people was cool, and I think that was,
Yeah.
like, the moment where he, like, you know, despite, like, whatever you're fighting or whatever you're fighting for, all this stuff is just like, you know, you're still a minority, and all those things just kind of coming into play. I think they're like, you know, these things might divide us, but also, like, we also share a common struggle in terms of, like, we might,
He's hilarious.
you know, in a
dude.
world that's being so much more, like, oppressive or, like, kind of
He was
violent
hilarious
towards
too, because he was
all those
just
people.
like, he was just all like, yeah, everything's weird in this universe. He's all like, I take it if they seized me and I'm Asian and gay and this or that, like, I'm pretty sure they were definitely gonna come for you. And he's like, look, everything's weird in this
Yeah.
universe. Holds up the bag of Cheetos and everything has like an HO instead of an O, like that's supposed to be on it.
Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Talking about weirdness in the universe, not Peacemaker. Oh my goodness, Vigilante meeting the other Vigilante. That was
hilarious.
fantastic. I love that scene.
They're basically
I
the
don't
same
like his character.
person.
Really? Okay. So why? Why is that?
So
You would have picked on him at school.
I didn't. So nah, it's not even that. I'm a Marvel head. Everybody knows I'm a Marvel guy. I don't know too much about DC's smaller characters like that.
Vigilante
so my first
isn't that way in the
introduction to
comics.
Vigilante. Oh, I know.
He's not.
My
he's not
first
supposed to
introduction to
be
Vigilante
Deadpool.
was the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
The Arrowverse was Vigilante was the first introduction I ever got to Vigilante, and he was tough. He was dope on Arrowverse. So then to see this, like, for lack of better words, bumbling idiot that's just good at killing people, it's just like
Dang, you didn't have to call him
sometimes
a bubbling idiot.
He
That's
basically
smart.
That's literally what he is. That's what
Vigilante.
his character is.
The character Vigilante has been gunnified.
He
Bruh,
really
like
was,
he
yeah.
is dumb. He's smart
You know?
randomly with random facts.
They were trying to make
And
him
I'm not talking
their
about the spider
Deadpool.
facts.
Yeah, they were trying to make him their Deadpool.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
And
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't really work.
But at
It
the same
don't.
time,
It
there's
don't
like,
work.
there's like,
And I'm
I
not
don't know,
saying
for
he don't
me,
have funny moments. He does have funny moments. It's just after a while, it's like, you know, when a joke run on too long and it be like, all right, man, like, all right, bro, like, it's not funny no more. Like, if he be taking it to like the fifth, he'd be like, all right,
buddy.
bro, like,
Okay,
shut up.
Wrap it
For
up,
me,
buddy.
it's
Like, that
like-
was funny at first.
I like
Right.
for me, on the flip side, I like, because he's a bit more endearing. Like, his friendship with Peacemaker, he like overhypes it in his head, like, more than anyone else. Like, even for Peacemaker, like, you know, he's very protective of the people that he loves, but, you know, then he just doesn't give a crap. I mean, especially with the drug money and the blood money that you see in
That's true.
It's like,
Well,
you
that-
know, he has,
that- you know what part?
That?
The part about the part about the blood money, and then the part, like, just his character in general and how eager he is to kind of just leap into things, and sometimes it can be helpful and sometimes it could suck. Like when they killed the other dimension's dad when he was trying to help them. It was just like, come
That
on,
part.
bro. Like, come
He
on.
just busted
like,
in the
what are you
window and went
doing?
crazy on the pops.
but like I said, like, this character has been gunnified, and I think, like, there have been examples of that maybe in like previous James Gunn projects where like characters are not supposed to be like that. And I'm trying to think, because I feel like there are a couple of characters who've been like that in Guardians of the Galaxy, but like in the comics, yeah, I guess yes, Star-Lord.
Yeah,
who else?
Star-Lord's kind of like if it, and somebody's probably gonna correct me in the comments because they have been popping. But if I remember correctly, Star-Lord's more like an intergalactic Captain America. He's not super funny and jokey. Like he's not the characterization that Chris Pratt put on him. That's for sure. So they definitely changed that character. And Groot's a little.
I
bit
haven't
more
read enough. Yeah, I haven't read enough Guardians of the Galaxies to know. At least not before, like pre James Gunn, because once the movie drops, they start trying to create runs that kind of mimic the movie.
He
so
made them.
I don't know.
Them popular.
Or like,
that's the thing. He
let's
made
take
them popular.
Right.
Let's take a character like Crypto. Right, Crypto is not like a bad dog, is he? In the comics?
Not really.
And so he based it off of his own dog, right? And so that's a character that's been gunnified, right? So like same thing. It's like Peacemaker, not Peacemaker. God, Vigilante is another character. It's just like you have this hardcore killer, but now you just got to make him more endearing and make him silly. And the actor lends himself to. I mean, he's a great actor, Freddie Stroma, I believe. I think that's.
No, I have no issue with the actor. I just don't like the characterization.
Yeah. I think the characterization of that. It's like it's. I guess a little polarizing, but I
didn't even know he was British, bro. Yeah. Like he hides his accent better than Tom Holland does.
Really?
John Cena didn't know either.
I had no idea he was.
So there's a story
behind the scenes
of like,
I was just like, what?
Yeah. There's a story of how like Freddie kept talking in his American accent all throughout, like behind the scenes and all this stuff. And then I think like at an interview this is for season 1, at like an interview or like a fan event or something like that, like he starts talking in a British accent, and John Cena's like completely shocked because he did not know that Freddie was he was a British guy. So the whole time.
That's great. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So we go into now like kind of talking about the we figured out like this world is completely flipped on its head, completely screwed up, and we go into Christopher Smith's dad and brother finding out that okay, this guy is not who we think he is, and so them like going to arrest them and then bringing him back to the house, and then the flip, or like I guess another twist, basically saying like his dad is not evil, or at least not completely evil, in this world. And so like, what did y'all think about that?
Evil in that? Yeah, he wasn't racist or evil in it. He was just all like, dude, I just do what I can where I can. So I mean, I think some people were looking at that like,
facts.
You're doing where you can. Realistically, that's how I would see somebody being on that side of things. Like I don't think they would be so opposing that they wouldn't be able to operate. Like, because I think people's deal with that was, well, you're a good guy supposedly, but you're not doing all that you can to do it. Well, that's kind of all he can do in that situation to actually help without being completely outcasted. He just, kind of hides that to, I guess, that world and then proceeds. But I mean, he's still like nuking people. Like that's that part. He's still nuking people, but he's not,
But I like
that. Yeah,
I like even the characterization of him. I like just the fact that he was like his Peacemaker's brother was hot. He's like, yo, you killed my brother, and he was just like, yo, chill. Your brother was kind of a piece of crap. Like,
crazy.
Like I love him, but he was kind of a piece of crap. Like I did what I could for him, but come on now, let's let these people go back to their world and never come over here again.
That's what I'm saying. He was trying to help him.
Is it assumed because I didn't? Yeah.
Right.
I think the sons basically did not take after their father's way of thinking, right? So Peacemaker was also like
they technically didn't in the regular Peacemaker universe either, because Chris's brother is dead.
Oh yeah, that's true.
he
Well,
decided
yeah,
to not be
technically.
like his dad. So they technically didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 and like seeing the whole fallout of his decision in terms of like it leads into a big fight and them going into blows, and then his obviously his dad being killed first, but then Chris's brother and him like getting into a fight, and now basically leaving him for dead essentially, with Harcourt trying
Yeah.
to do that final blow, but not gonna happen. That Chris basically tells her to leave him alone. And now this opens the door. This leaves the door open basically for him coming back. I can't wait to see that because that'll be really cool to see. Like him coming. That world is now open. Especially with
Yeah.
what's happened with Luther Core and like all those guys and Rick Flag Sr. going in to discover all these worlds. This whole portal thing is still very much open, right? It leaves the door, multiple doors, literally open for other things to come into this world. And so I think his brother coming back, Keith coming back, would be an amazing thing to see for season 3, if that ever happens, because James Gunn said
Right.
there is no season 3.
Mm.
Which still I don't take his word for it, especially with what he did for the finale. I really don't take his word for anything anymore, but especially for the show. And so I think people lauded John Cena for his acting in that last scene in that world, right? Like him basically it's like seeing his brother being almost killed right in front of him again. I think that was an amazing acting moment from Cena.
Right.
I think they kind of like kept him at the because there's always this debate of like who's the best actor, Batista, The Rock, or Cena. And I think like I still think Batista is still on top because I think he's a fantastic actor, but I think Cena is like definitely cemented his place at a very close second. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I feel like Batista's number 1. I feel like Cena's number 2. And I feel like um I feel like The Rock is up there too, as number 3. I just don't feel like he's had the opportunity to do more, or if he has, he just hasn't taken them to do more like emotional stuff. Uh, like he's had a few Jones like Gridiron Gang and some of the stuff he did with the little girl, like the Tooth Fairy, even though that was supposed to be like funny and stuff like that. It was supposed to be like a father daughter type situation. Uh, but when you look at like Batista and Cena's like catalog and stuff that they were able to do, they were able to flesh out their characters a lot more than what The Rock was able to do, because it was a run that The Rock was on where it was like he was the same nigga in like 5 movies.
Yeah. I think
yeah,
that's
Rampage,
definitely
Skyscraper, like
Jumanji, right?
was
Jumanji? Was he in Jumanji?
He
Yeah.
was like the same dude in like 5
Yeah.
straight films. It was like,
And then Black Adam.
this is just The Rock.
It's the same guy in a black costume. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I think that's that definitely. But he has that new movie called The Smashing Machine, which apparently is like really good. Not doing very well box office, like financially, but critics are saying that it's some of his best acting work. So
It's
I do want to go
apparently 'cause
check
he's
it out,
acted for real.
and see what it's all about. But yeah. So I think that was like a good moment of acting from Cena, and now like we're kind of pushing on into the story. And we're seeing the after effects of them coming out and them basically being forced to. I mean, Christopher Smith gets arrested, thrown in jail, and them exploring these different worlds. So
before we move on to the last episode, I just really feel like if we would have ended on episode 7, I'd have been fine with that. Like I
with him
don't
being
know,
arrested,
the finale episode felt like a beginning of a new season. It didn't feel like a finale. Like, you feel me? Like it didn't feel like, okay, we're gonna go somewhere from here. It just felt like there should be more episodes after this. Like it felt like this is the beginning of a new arc, and we're about to go explore more episodes through this season. Like it felt like a CW opening episode to a season to me, the finale. Anyway, like
Got it.
season episode 7 felt like a solid place to be like, let's end it here. Chris gets arrested. You know what I mean? Like
we don't know.
Here.
Yeah,
Right. We don't know what's happening. Like you could go so many different places with it. Like you can still keep him being disgruntled with the whole team and not wanting to be around them because of what just transpired, and him feeling like everybody that he loves and cares about ends up dying that he's close to. Like you can still play that angle and spin it off into different projects or spin it off into a different project that you might have him in moving forward or whatever you choose to do, a season 3 or whatever. But like the way season 2 ended, it was just like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
I have seen that complaint a couple of times also, where it's like, it feels, because especially with oh man, what's that girl's name? Bordeaux, Sasha Bordeaux coming back, or like, just leaving Rick Flagg's camp, right? And then
right.
you're now like kind of figuring out like this. It's almost like, I don't want to say it felt like an afterthought, the episode, but it kind of did, like saying like, okay, like we need to show like, oh, there's these other things that are coming in. Like obviously the multiverse is like very much open in this little nexus thing that they have going on. And so we need to show that, and we need to show how we can set up for like different projects. I feel like Peacemaker is like, obviously, like, like James Gunn said, it is a stepping off point for Man of Tomorrow and all that stuff, but it didn't really set that up, obviously, in season with
Right.
episode 7.
It
But it
wasn't
didn't.
obvious.
We didn't need it.
Right. And
We
it
didn't need
have to
episode
be.
8. I'll agree with that.
And that's the problem. It's like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do a season finale, like, give me like all the stakes were in episode 7. All the the resolution that we wanted was in episode 7, and it's just like, even the whole the hardcore Peacemaker part of episode 8 didn't hit for real for me. It was just like, what? Like, this which, all right. Like, we just spent this whole season and this all right. Like, okay.
And also like episode 8 was honestly just like 2 concerts put together with
exactly
Nelson,
2
and then
concerts and a bunch of
Foxy
montages.
Shazam. Yeah. That
Two
I felt
concerts
like
and a
they were
bunch of
like
montages.
stretching it out. They were
Right. It
stretching
was
it
just
out.
like, bro, you could have just saved this for like a season 3 or just
I get it.
another episode of something else.
Yeah.
'Cause
I mean, obviously, I think, with James Gunn, what his thing was, he wanted to set up Checkmate, which is their like that team of like, I guess, like their new intelligence team that they put together with all those characters, which and I think you brought it up in our chat. Yeah, you brought it up in the chat, just Race, about maybe you did, I don't know. Anyway, Flurry coming in all of a sudden, and Judo Master also coming in all of a sudden. Like, it's just like, where did it come out of? Like, like what led up to that moment? Like, yes, we saw his agents, I guess, getting killed and all that, but like, I don't know, like it just felt a little random to see Flurry, like Agent Flurry, in there with them in Checkmate, and also Judo Master in there as well. Maybe they just felt disillusioned with Argus and what was going on, but like you said, like if we had spent a little bit more time in the next season and kind of setting that up, and then them joining Checkmate, I feel like it would have made more sense, at least like from a viewership perspective,
Right. And even the whole montage with Checkmate, it was just like, okay. Like, this, like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought that was gonna be the end of the episode, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's cool. Then he gets arrested and then thrown in Salvation, and it's like, okay, wait, what? He ain't got no gear. Well, now he's just supposed to survive.
So you guys know, like, I mean, I don't know if you've seen, and I'll pick back up on my thought about Rick Flagg in a second, but like you guys know about Salvation and like what it is, right? Like,
I've seen the posts, right? About it. Yeah.
So just is Darkseid made that planet. He made that planet supposedly for a place for where the new guys are gonna be, or where they are. Apparently, it's that planet. Like, if you ever watched any of the, and I can be corrected, it's cool if I'm wrong, but they are paralleling it to that world that where the new gods are like in the clouds and everybody else is on the bottom level, and so it looks kind of like Earth, but it's the new gods are actually up there, and then all the people are trying to survive with all the monsters and stuff down there.
So pretty much Peacemaker is gonna be with the new guys.
That they didn't say that, no.
Yeah, I think he's just basically it's basically training ground for him.
That's what they're hinting at. And in respect, you know what I mean, but respect to James Gunn or whatever, if he can string this along smoothly. Who the heck was gonna know that though? Like, who the heck was gonna know that watching that
There was
episode? Not to
there
say
was
that you had to know
probably
that or reveal that.
there was probably a lot that I think in his world right now that he's kind of just expecting people to know. Because the thing is that James Gunn is in a really, really unique position to where he's telling stories based off of these characters where their worlds have gotten kind of fleshed out heavily on the animated side. So, I mean, most of us grew up with that lore. You just didn't remember. Like that's a planet that was like in Justice League and you just didn't know what it was. So, and to be fair, like it's not like they ran around calling the planet Salvation in the cartoon. So that's kind of like a yeah, you would kind of have to know what's going on in the comics to, some of this stuff. But and especially for this like audience that he's trying to reach, everybody's very Marvel centric. So it's like you like for people to really know about DC is it's kind of like a toss up right now. So he's kind of having to train. He's training everybody on what his universe for DC is. He's not giving the overarching universe of it all together. He's just kind of taking bits and pieces
Right.
and telling you about his vision of like what this universe looks like. And that's kind of all we have to go
Right.
off of. So if you don't know,
Yeah.
you just don't know. It's kind of wild.
And if you don't know,
and that's what I was.
I mean, and we live in a
that's what I
world
was
because I
telling,
think like right
Prodigal.
now, like comic book creators and or movie creators now, I mean, especially those who are tapped in, like Feige, like James Gunn, all these people who know that people have more of an interest in learning about the lore, that they're going back to the comic books, or they're going to YouTube to kind of figure out things like and learn new things. I feel like now, because I feel like it's like maybe it's more for like the hardcore people that really want to know what they're watching or know the backstory, but even some casuals are going in and watching like new rock stars and like all these different videos, comic breakdowns, and I know we're not a couple of y'all, both of y'all are not big fans of him, but Emergency Awesome and
Yeah, I never said I
we do
wasn't a
not
big fan of
speak
Charlie.
of
I
his
just don't
name.
like when.
We do not speak his name on this channel. No, just playing.
or,
I'm just
watch
playing.
Charlie videos.
He's cool. He's
or
cool.
or that one guy who does comic stuff. I forgot his name.
You talking
Oh my
about?
goodness, I was watching
There's a
that
bunch
too.
of them. So I don't...
You talking about what's his name? Aheem or you talking about comic book?
No,
Comic book
it's a
YouTube?
black guy
Comic book two?
that's doing it.
The black guy is doing
no.
it.
Yeah, it's a
One of
black guy
us?
that's doing
A lot
it.
of them
I was like, what about?
Because
Because I haven't started talking
I
about
don't know why I'm
DC
blanking his
characters
name.
yet.
Anyway, but like
I
I
know
feel
you're
like
not talking
people.
about King Lion.
No. But I feel
Oh,
like
okay,
people
okay. I was
are
gonna
going
say.
back and watching it. So I think like James Gunn's a bit more comfortable in like doing these deeper cuts because he'll be like, people will figure it out. Don't worry, kind of thing. But I think
Yeah.
I don't think people expected or like really knew that it was setting up Man of Tomorrow, how exactly it was going to set up Man of Tomorrow and all that stuff. They were just like, okay, he's in this random planet and you're hearing roaring sounds and all these different things and that's it.
Dude,
So
I
how
don't
does
even
this
know, and
exactly
I'm a
fit in?
DC
So
fan. Like, I'm just as much a DC fan
That's
as
what
I
I'm
am a Marvel
saying.
fan. And I was like, Salvation? Wait, was that the thing in New Gods? Like, that literally I had to like think
sure.
about it. I
But
was like,
someone will
isn't
fill
that
in the blanks
Darkseid's
for you.
planet or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody will fill in
Yeah.
the blanks. I probably will on my channel. I will on Kilga Zero's Corner be going over certain things. Maybe not going in depth as some people do, but I will be going over different characters and where they come from and all that stuff pretty soon. But speaking of characters, Rick Flagg is kind of like my last thoughts for this. I didn't like his character turn so sudden. Like he's had the motivation, but from the character that we saw in Creature Commandos compared to what we see in Superman, it was just like it was almost like a gradual falling and then just like steep roller coaster like character swap. And on one hand, I get it because now you finally have the resources to kind of execute what it is that you've been wanting to do this entire time. But when did you turn into like a Lex Luthor Jr. type against MetaHuman? All of them. Like, cause like all of a sudden he started being like you were just on a team. Granted, some of them tried to kill
With
you at first,
MetaHuman.
but you were on a team. with metahumans, and you got close
With
to those
metahumans.
metahumans. And so, like,
But
the steep character turn just because, oh, I finally I'm getting a hold of the dude who killed my son type energy was still kind of like, what? And like, he didn't even really have that much of an issue with Superman. That's why I mean, you're not gonna either because that's Superman. But still it's just like, what the heck? That just was a little bit, that left a bad taste in my mouth because I was like, okay, so now he's just straight up evil? Like he's doing
I feel
evil?
like there could have been a better exposition of Rick Flagg's character this season, especially since he was going to be involved this season. Like,
Yeah.
granted, it's like we spent a lot of time with. Granted, it's his show, so I get it with Peacemaker, but it wasn't really too much other characters outside of maybe Hardcore and Adebayo that really got like character work moments like that. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like outside of Peacemaker, Adebayo, and Hardcore, it's just like everybody else. It was kind of just like regular. John Economos still just being him. Vigilante still being him.
Nobody
Rick
else
Flagg
had
comes
that
in, and it would have been nice to see his
heel turn. Nobody had that heel turn in wrestling terms. Nobody had that
yeah,
heel
that's
turn
what I'm saying.
that bad.
Rick Flagg was there, but it's just like it would have been nice to see that.
I think you saw a little bit of the heel turn when, you know, it flashes back to Harcourt and Rick Flagg having that conversation at the funeral, right? And then you're seeing kind of like the seeds being planted in terms of what he wants to do with Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And then later on, and this is again another problem that we have with episode 8, is that they kind of rush through the gradual descent because he's being surrounded by these sycophants who basically are, I guess they're just getting off on the fact that they can just do this to all these metahumans, right? Luther has like
really
essentially brainwashed these guys into you know, they're basically Luther's puppets, right? Like, you know, you don't need to see Lex Luthor all the time because these guys, especially like all the that mustache guy, I forget his name, the little freak, but you know, dude is, you know, these guys are the ones who do the dirty work, you know, and they'll ride it up.
They're not even in the corner; they were like
exactly
out front.
So they're encouraging him, you know, and so like Rick Flagg feels like there's a group of people who, you know, who's, yes, on paper they're taking down Peacemaker, but they're also pushing this idea, slowly injecting it into his mind by saying that this is a good idea, right? Like, he also justifies it when he's talking to the government or the little group of the generals or whatever about it. He's just like, no, I don't want to like harm metahumans. I just want to get them away from this planet. He doesn't really know what's going on this planet. He just knows that you can just keep him away and then that's it. But he still also, there's a part of him that just wants to make
enough
Peacemaker
to
suffer.
A planet that looked like it was inhabitable. Like, oh, you can breathe on it.
Yeah.
There's no giant skeleton spiders.
But just get him away from here.
By the way, I know we're closing out, but just that whole execution too, with going through all the doors, they couldn't see one other normal planet, like or dimension, like that was funny. That was funny. Like the execution of it was funny, but I was just kind of like, all these dimensions that you're going to are just horrific. That's the end of it. That's just
yeah. It's horror,
and
it's horrorscapes. Yep. Yeah.
Well, I
hellscapes. There you go. That's the word.
Like,
for it.
It was funny to a certain extent. It was almost like you were saying with Vigilante, like, okay, the joke's over. Like at one point I was just like, okay.
Right. Yeah, that montage specifically went on for a very long time, and I was like, oh, okay. So every door, all right. Every door is just gonna be killing people. All right, more people out on stretchers. Okay.
So I mean, even salvation kills people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I can.
Maybe this is just a like this nexus was just. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe this nexus was just created or like made to just like access the worst planets ever. Have we ever considered that?
I did not.
Maybe this nexus was created as a prison kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like its original intention was this is a prison.
You know what I felt
and
like?
You can access it to different
interesting opportunity if you're gonna do the montage of going through the doors. Go through the nigga door that we've been seeing throughout the whole season. They keep dumping the rats in the incinerator.
The xenophobe guy.
Yeah, there's no real payoff on that. Yeah, there was no
He
payoff
just
with
be
that.
in there, and it's just like y'all
He
could
just keep
that could have
coming
been
out.
a funny joke. Like, oh, we finally get to see what he doing.
Yeah,
He just-
that was
like, why does he have
there
all
was
these
no
little
payoff to that. I
creatures?
forgot about that.
He kept
Yeah.
when
Right.
hardcore saw him,
And
when
throwing him
hardcore
in the
saw him, and she
incinerator.
was just like,
Yeah.
all like, he goes,
Hey,
So, with all that being said, guys, what would you rate season 2 of Peacemaker?
man.
I'll
Give
go
it-
first. I'll go ahead
I would-
and give it. I'll go ahead and give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
8. I'd give it a 7.5.
Yeah. Okay.
I got 6.5. That's all I can say.
Ooh.
I would have gave it. I would have
think-
gave it an 8 had it not been for that finale. That
I think-
finale pissed me off.
I think
I
it
was
was.
just like, yeah, this is dumb.
I think it was
Also,
a
you don't know
9,
who Nelson is.
for me with the whole show, but I knocked it down a whole post. Knock it down a
Who
whole
was
number.
Nelson?
The band.
The band.
Oh yeah, I don't. So the musical references made no sense to me.
I was
Outside of
saying.
the people singing the theme song.
Nelson-
I was
Hey,
just like,
Nelson-
okay,
I love
Nelson
the
had
theme song.
one
I've been blasting
song.
that in my car. I love the
Nelson-
Oh Lord song by Foxy
Nelson
Shazam.
had one song back in the day when I was a kid, when they still like used to play music videos on MTV, like in the 90s. And like they were still kind of cycling out that whole hair metal thing, whatever that was about. And like, and then Nelson was one of them. And I remember I was like, oh, those are the young little twin dudes that were like rocking in the video. And they were doing like cartwheels and stuff. I was like, they're not doing cartwheels on this. Foxy Shazam was doing cartwheels and stuff because that's who they are.
Yeah.
Foxy Shazam is a dope band live.
I'm just happy that Steel Panther got a song in there
Bro, that
in
one
the show.
though,
I'm happy about that.
that one though.
Yeah, not that's. I mean, never mind. That whole band is hella sus, but they're so talented.
Say what it was.
That whole,
but dang, that's crazy.
but that whole band, their whole discography is everything is sus about them, but they're super talented, and those guys are great.
No,
Like
they're
great
so
vocalists,
nice.
great guitarists, all
They're
those.
so
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I've met them before, so they're.
Oh, they
like,
are
they're
okay,
super
nice.
From Vegas?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining in on another episode of Indie Geeks. My name is Prodigal.
I'm just raised.
Then I'm Q. Have a good one, y'all.